For more than a decade, we've covered stories on every aspect of the world around us, from protests to pandemics, raging floods to devastating bushfires, all shedding light on the moments that mattered and the people whose lives were changed forever.
They've just ripped him around the corner into an alleyway.
Despite these terrible conditions that we are seeing, everyone is staying at home if they still have one.
The police have just had to come through and bring them out to safety in a convoy.
Lauding as a big success this idea that Kim Jong-un has promised he will not do any more rocket tests. I think we should be cautious of that, though.
What's really unusual about this protest is both the scale of it, also the police presence, which is, I've got to say, phenomenal. I haven't seen anything quite like this.
For 16 years, we've seen the best and the worst of humanity. Harrowing imagery contrasted with stories of strength and survival.
We actually just saw a little homemade explosive device go off there, and the police water cannon has moved straight in.
None of us need to live under fear. Freedom from fear is our hope and wish on Hong Kong.
Your mum sounded like she was pretty awesome during the fire.
Yeah, she was. She saved about a couple of people's lives.
Moments that shocked, tested us and changed the way we've seen the world.
In seconds, police stormed the building following the sound of gunfire. Within a minute, it was over.
Just minutes from home, Eurydice sent a final heartbreaking message to her partner. I'm almost home safe. How about you?
6 Australians were on MH370.
I'm taking it minute by minute. I've got 2 young kids. And I've got a 3-year-old who's asking, when's Daddy going to Skype?
Across borders and ballot boxes, the stories that changed not just lives, but society itself.
It's just unbelievable to think there's a chance that that union might break up after all that time and all they've been through over something like Brexit.
No one has ever bothered to come looking for the truth.
Selamat pagi. Pagi, saya Hamish, saya journalist dari Australia.
Ali Yasmin's ordeal is now over, but there are still really significant questions for Australia about how and why this could ever happen. Why, when immigration officials had already concluded he was just 14, did the federal police go ahead and arrest him as an adult?
Why is it important for you to come out to vote?
If you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain for the next 4 years for anything. So that's why I'm voting.
So you're here so that you can complain for the next 4 years, is that?
Exactly.
We saw the places we gather made crime scenes and where we worship attacked.
The death toll has risen to 50. 2 children are among the victims. The ages range from 2 to 77 years old.
My uncle, he got shot, and unfortunately we haven't got any details right now. We don't know whether he's alive or dead.
A week after the attacks, Ardern announced sweeping reforms banning military-style assault rifles. Tonight, more than 1,600 people have been killed since Palestinian group Hamas launched their terror attack on Israel.
I guess the best way to sum up the community is definitely shock, upset, but at the same time a lot of strength.
What's your hope for Gaza and the Palestinian people?
I never lost hope during any single point during this genocide. Step by step, we can really rebuild Gaza until Gaza is spreading hope all across the globe.
We heard from the desperate fleeing persecution for freedom and safety.
Shelling everywhere, it's like hell.
Yusuf al-Hariri is haunted by the conflict in Syria and the fate of his missing brother, Khalil.
We are not animals, we are not criminal. We have rights to cross this border. Imagine yourself in our place. You are a human, we are a human. You have kids, we have kids.
This is Andrea. She's come with her 2 sons from Guatemala, and she says that they were basically being pressured by the drug gangs where they lived to join them, and so they've run away.
Images of a small boy whose body washed up on one of Turkey's main tourist beaches has shocked the world. I just can't look at that without being so upset. Like, it just makes me think how lucky I am that I live in Australia, that my children live in Australia. That's what it is.
Bearing witness to acts of defiance and resistance.
What turned you?
January 6th. I cannot stand behind a candidate that would go against everything this country is founded on.
More than 10,000 people marched in Saturday's Black Lives Matter protest in Melbourne. There are lots of these kind of murals in Northern Ireland. Both sides of the conflict produce them. They're striking, they're unapologetic, they're even militant. They show that there are some people who hang on to the past here.
Everyday people finding their voices amid extraordinary adversity.
Pro-Palestinian protesters from across Australia gathered to condemn Israeli aggression.
Enough is enough! Not on our watch!
A Molotov cocktail towards police inside a train station. They respond with tear gas and later water cannons laced with chemical spray.
And it makes you realise that these are people, this is a country that will never fully see the end of the Vietnam War.
It was only 5.5 weeks ago that all those students in Florida sheltered for their lives as their peers were slaughtered. And what began as a Facebook post has grown into this.
And in a country defined by natural disasters, stories of devastating loss.
Everything's gone. We've got 3 kids, everything's gone.
Sometimes it does get you down. Been through about 3 really bad droughts, but this one just goes on forever.
Just beneath the surface, things are far from fixed. Families are still struggling and still need the most basic of help.
They're not lying when they call this a rain bomb. It is absolutely relentless.
It's hot, it's smoky, and the number of fires Travis is checking on takes me by surprise.
First of all, we're looking for people that are in jeopardy. Lives is our first priority. Then we go to property.
Tony's once thriving cane, cattle and rice farm has been frozen in time and mud since the first flood, the big one.
Where do you start and where to from here are the two main sort of things that you think of.
But despite the pain, incredible acts of kindness and bravery.
Stuart brought his boat down and he rescued 20-odd people. He had to go and unscrew a roof to get some people out through the roof.
A lady out of a tree.
A lady out of a tree. A 73-year-old woman was clinging to a tree.
Locals have commandeered the community hall to deliver the things our government can't seem to: relief and recovery.
We've been dealing with fires, floods and 3 waves of pandemics. And the best that we got was a wage freeze and a thank you.
Who do you think are the real heroes of this pandemic?
Heroes. Nurses. Sorry.
I've seen people who've lost everything and yet they can still joke and get a smile on their face.
To those people that tell us that teenagers can't do anything, I say that we were the only people that could have made this movement possible.
It was never just about the stories. It was always about the people.
We will be your son.
It's just a miracle that the Navy have found us a seed. It's just 1 out of a million chance. I have my baby. My AJ. You just think, yeah, it's okay. It's all going to be all right. Isn't it, buddy?
I always think every day is beautiful, just that some are more beautiful than others, as we found out today.
Can I just say, being on this show, it has been an unbelievable privilege when, like, I didn't study journalism and I've been able to sit next to broadcasters like yourselves, just amazing talent that's been on this desk and people behind the scenes that have created stories like we just saw. And it does get me quite emotional because, again, I'm not used to being in this environment. So when I do come in and see what this show can create and produce like that and tell stories that are unbelievable. And if I could just get a bit of time to tell this story, which is I was here on the desk when the unfortunate mosque shootings happened in Christchurch. It happened all on a Friday. We came in, we had to report on it as it was happening in the moment. And I was privy to sit next to Waleed as he delivered one of the best pieces I've ever seen on TV. And I got to sit next to him. And I was impressed. I was in awe of what you did that day. And I know it took it out of you emotionally. And it was just a privilege to sit there and watch that kind of journalism and professionalism and heart be presented on TV. So I just want to say thank you for the time we've had.
That is you. And also special shout out to Hamish McDonald because absolutely no one does it in the field like he does.
Unbelievable.
That is it. That's all the time that we have tonight. Thank you, Corno.